Wow, your keyboard is very, very loud. How's everybody doing? Welcome back to the Comfy Org stream. Today's community hangout, it'll be with me, Pers, and Syntax Diffusion. We are going to dive into the new Comfy API nodes that dropped today. The second wave of stuff dropped. We got LLM nodes, we got 3D nodes, we got video nodes. So we'll try it all out and show you how it works and how you can integrate it into your workflows. Before I go on a spiel about how cool the API nodes are, welcome Syntax Diffusion. Please say hi.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's always fun being on stream with you.
Yeah, man. I mean, you belong here. Syntax Diffusion has joined the team as a Comfy creative, so he'll be here far more often. And oh boy, I see a rogue Phil. I believe a Machine Delusions has showed up. Look, it's a Machine Delusions.
Oh, hi.
How's everybody doing today?
Pretty good, pretty good. How are you guys?
Oh, not too bad. I'm pretty stoked about all these things that have opened up for our Mac friends and people who don't have local GPUs and don't really want to deal with the cloud and whatnot. This is pretty big stuff now to have like 3D and a few other things. So yeah, man, pretty stoked.
It's getting more accessible every day.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's walk through it. ComfyUI API Nodes Wave 2 just went live. We got 6 new models. I'll just play the video real quick, and then we can talk about it. So we got ChatGPT, lots of options with Gemini as well, 3D stuff and video stuff, Trippo, and Rodin. And yeah, it is amazing to be able to just do this stuff without downloading models. Without setting up a 3D environment on Comfy, which can be a pain locally, as some of you know. And then, the really exciting part for us is, let's say you make an image in Flux and you want to animate it with Kling or with Runway or with whoever. You just plug it in and keep it going. It's super cool to have all this stuff under one umbrella so that we can make these workflows that sort of branch out and go between open source and closed source tools when we need them, because like the two people below me will tell you, it's not about the best tool, it's about the best tool for the job. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there are times where I just like need the thing. You know what I mean? I just like either I am not by a GPU or I don't have an environment set up, or I'm in the middle of a project and I just like need that one little piece, as well as like the performance of all the models. There isn't a catch-all. I go to GPT for some things, I go local for others, like WAN, Flux, etc. And then, that's true throughout the space. They prompt different, they give different results, they have their own limitations.
It's the same thing with me. Even with vibe coding stuff, I'm jumping between the models all the time. Some local, some not local. Claude 04, whatever, 001, whatever is like, I don't know, whatever our friend Nobane says is the new hotness this week, basically. But right, like having that agility, I think, is key in this space. As like, these models, everything changes on a dime. At 1 week, it was Hunyuan was king, and now Juan has the big thriving community, and not that Hunyuan doesn't, but just Juan is just exploded. And anything that is modular and open and ready to be plugged into other things tends to like propagate faster and stronger and build a larger community, because people can add to it. So yeah, I'm just super stoked about having this like bridge between the open source and closed source stuff, because the this or that fight is just like super annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to be able to streamline it, all in one workflow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like every other week it's like this. It's just constant. Like, no, we got the best benchmarks. No, and now we do, and it's just like a never-ending, game of back and forth, cat and mouse the whole way down. Eventually, they're all going to be really good, and it won't even matter. It's like just, like a burger. Like they're all really good burgers.
Yeah, and then it's just like what kind of burger do you want today? What kind of
yeah.
So yeah, let's talk about what we got. We got a Google Cloud integration for LLMs. So we got 3 types of nodes this week with the API nodes. We got LLMs, image and video nodes, and 3D. We had other nodes in these categories, but these are new new API nodes that like give you access to new stuff. So Google Cloud, we got Gemini 2.5 Pro and Gemini 2.5 Flash. Phil can speak on how robust these models are for the cost.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the Gemini suite of models, I've been playing with them, like months and months before we got them in Comfy. Now, I was building my own APIs inside of Comfy, and I mean, cost to performance ratio, it's just insane. Google's running their stuff on their own architecture, their own TPUs, like hardware. And I mean, it shows, man. Like the competitors in the space, like OpenAI and Anthropic, you can look at a chart, like it's ridiculous, like how much cheaper the Google suite of models is comparatively, and faster, like magnitudes faster.
That's great. Yeah, especially when you got like I know you were doing tasks where you were like captioning video and stuff, like big bulk tasks like that. You got to find reasonably priced solutions to do that much compute, right?
Yeah. I captioned 5,000 8-second clips for $20, and like captions.
Yeah,
and it was
good ones.
Yeah, and like a video model looking at all stuff. Like, yeah, sure, there's local options out there, but for me, like I was working in volume, and I wanted precision, and like and then I also wanted the speed. Even if I were to run that local, it would have taken probably a couple of days, but this took me like 6-7 hours, and I was already crushed through it.
Plus, there's the whole thing of, if it fails after 7 hours, that's way less of your time than if it fails after 3 days and you have to do another 3-day run. That the lost time compiles. We talk about this a lot, but like failing fast is the most important thing you can do with this stuff, because, long training to find stuff out, or changing settings and keeping settings really high, stuff like that, it'll just eat up your time. You gotta kind of infer locally figured out. So Google Cloud, now we got also OpenAI GPT 4.1, 4.0, 01, 03, and 04. If you're a GPT person, this is great news. You can integrate your prompting and talking to LLMs just like you would normally, but within Comfy. DT Dota asks if we have VO3 access yet. I wish. Hopefully. I don't know. That's beyond our scope, but I would love to have access to VO3, because I was just at a upscale festival in San Francisco, and it dropped sort of while everyone was there. And so all the people that had access all had their phones out, and we were all just huddled around each other's phones trying VO3 all day. So yeah, it's like that was a real eye-opening model. The fact that it can do lip synced audio and video like all together is absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, that model is innovation.
So yeah, we don't have it yet, but fingers crossed. I would love it. Image video, we got Runway ML gave access to Gen 4 image and image reference, Gen 4 Turbo, Gen 3 Alpha Turbo. So API access to those models. So you don't, that's the nice thing about these API nodes. You don't have to have an account with every single one of these sites. You can just put your credits in it, like, like a run pod thing, and just use, use the API to use every site instead of having to have, like, I have probably like 15 subscriptions to different sites. Like it is terrible. And I'm working on bringing that down. And this is going to help with some of the stuff that I'm only using occasionally, like Kling, a few other things. When I only need to do the runs a few times, this is like a lot cheaper than paying for monthly access to stuff that I'm not using. Yeah. But what else? Vdoo. I don't believe those nodes are live yet. I think there's still an integration coming for that. But I've heard cool things about Vdoo. I'm looking forward to trying that one out. So yeah, we'll see that. But the really exciting nodes are the Hyper 3D AI nodes, the Rodin nodes, and the Tripo AI nodes. I got a chance to play with those this morning. They are super duper cool. So we are going to sort of like dive in and mix some of the older API nodes and some of the newer API nodes, maybe show you some cool ways to mix this stuff together, come up with some novel workflows, and show you how like powerful it can be to mix your local models and these API nodes, or literally just these API nodes together. If you don't have a GPU, this is huge because you don't need local compute to do all the stuff. And a lot of these closed models look marginally better than what we have open source, so this is pretty cool. What have you guys been doing with the API nodes?
I've been really diving into the runway nodes, actually, specifically the image gen. Man, like, I'm kind of on your wave, Purse. I don't want to have a ton of subscriptions, and I never thought I needed an image model subscription, and the runway video stuff. Like, by the time I came around to the whole closed source video world, like, we had so many options. I was like, oh, runway,
Yeah.
like, they're ancient, right? Like, that's, but then I started to play with the runway image 4 reference. Holy moly, man. That thing
it's really good.
Really accurate. Like,
Yeah.
I was doing some very complicated things, but so my benchmark with these models, specifically image reference models, is how well does it reference the image? If I give it me, do I get me back? Right. If I give it anything, if I give it like the most complicated, if I give the model something I 100% know it was not trained on, do I get that back, or do I get a style that like back? But yeah, man, the runway image model, I think it's slept on. It's powerful, super powerful.
Yeah, I mean, Gen 4 is consistently blowing me away when I'm doing testing. Like, 'cause I always love to throw an image to video through Runway, just to see like where it's at. Because like Gen 4 tends to like nail it like more often than not. So it's pretty fun to use. And the image reference is super fun.
Haven't tried the video one yet.
Yeah. And then one really fun thing with Runway is like image to videoing like stills from something you've made, or like renders and things like that. Super fun. So yeah, the new LLM nodes, you can basically fit the entire system prompt into them and make them like if you look at the example workflows for, let's go over to here. Yeah, actually, I'm gonna make this large and in charge. Oh, pardon me, I gotta fix one thing. We're working on all this, everybody. All right, cool. Let's get this kicking. All right. We have here, I have the Flux 1.1 Pro Ultra Image workflow. Basically, just install Comfy or just use it as you normally do. Update everything. You might see a drop down in here at the top right here with your face on it or no face on it. If you don't worry about it. You just go to options on the bottom left down here. Oh, I guess that's covered up by my name thing, but there's a little gear down on the bottom left. And when you click on that, you get access to the settings menu. If you go to user, then you can log in here. So this is where you log in with your Google account or however you like to authorize. Once you're logged in, you top up your credits through Stripe, and Comfy just distributes the API, the credits to the companies as you use the models. So there's little estimates in the top right here on each node that lets you know how much each node costs, and any node that costs credits has a little $ on it. So you'll see at a glance if you have API nodes in your workflow, and if they're going to start using your account, or if your workflow is all local. So look for those little $ tags. They let you know that the node's an API node. So yeah, you go to workflow, browse templates, and then they're all in here now. Image, video, 3D, LLM. You can just go and start playing with them once you have some credits in your account. So let's just very simply go to the first image API one, called the BFL Flux 1.1 Pro Ultra Text to Image. So Black Forest Labs has a version of Flux that's only available through API. It looks better than Dev and Schnell, and it can do all kinds of crazy stuff. I would imagine we'll probably be adding stuff for the LoRa's, because you can also fine tune with it and all kinds of stuff on their API. So yeah, but for right now, let's just try a prompt. A beautiful skyline. What do you guys think?
I'm thinking you should use an LLM.
Oh yeah, let's
Yeah,
that's good. We're just gonna make it immediately complicated. All right, so double click and let's add a Gemini node.
Yeah, sure.
So I started typing Gemini. I'm gonna add a Google Gemini node. So we have Flash and Pro. We really only need Flash for prompting, right? We don't need Pro. Yeah,
definitely.
So Flash is cheaper than Pro. I'm not sure how much cheaper.
Significantly.
Yeah. So when in doubt, use Flash. And if your LLM is not doing the thing exactly, then try the smarter models. But I always start with the dumbest model possible, the cheapest model possible, because generally it can handle whatever you're trying to do with it in this sort of thing. So let's grab a beautiful skyline, mountain range. Let's grab an image. Yeah. There, that's a nice one. So we're just going to use this as a load image. We're going to use it as a we're going to feed this image that we just downloaded into Google Gemini, and we're going to say, describe this image. Then we're going to take the string. Yep. And then we're going to take the string and we're going to plug it into the little. So this is a fun little thing. We've covered this a few times, but so before you used to have to right click on a node and say, is it even here anymore?
No, I think they took it out.
Okay, so they even got rid of it.
Wow.
Back in the day, you used to have to manually switch widgets to inputs and vice versa. But now you'll notice when you mouse over a widget, you get like this little gray thing on the connector. So I need this string in as our prompt. So I can just drag it in to that little gray thing and it adds it here. It's going to ignore what was already in here, and it's going to do the Gemini thing and then paste the prompt in there as the prompt. So we're going image, Gemini, Flux, save image, not using our local GPU at all. So let's just run that. So this will run the same speed on a MacBook that it'll run on a NVIDIA GPU, so you can flex in front of your friends.
Yeah, I gotta say, all the little widget improvements and the indicators, really nice.
Yeah, the progress bars and stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty dang good.
So that's our input image there.
Yeah. So a pro tip what I like to do is when prompt engineering something like Gemini or any VLM, vision language model, what I'll do is I'll be like, describe this image in full detail. I'll limit it to token amount. So I'll be like, reply to me within 77 tokens. I'll describe the structure in which I want the prompt to be. So instead of natural language, maybe I want to do descriptive words separated by comma. And then at the very end, I say dictate the styling of your response by these 3 words. And those 3 words then become my prompts, where the system prompt stays the same, but then all I'm doing is being like, dark art deco beautiful, or like vibrant watercolor chaos, right? And then it will describe the image. So
But
there's
sort of like
multiple
wrapping it in that frame.
exactly, yeah.
Love
Because
that.
we don't want a carbon copy of the image we're describing. We want like
Right.
an interpretation of it, right? Yeah, so I'd be interested to see.
So yeah, we tried that here. We said, can you describe this image using descriptive words separated by commas? Dictate the styling of your response by these 3 words: dark, art deco, and beautiful. So we'll see if it changes the here we go. Monumental peaks, jaggeds. We should have saved what it was to be able to compare. Oh wow. It definitely made it darker.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, this is where prompt engineering really comes in 100%. Tate asked, he said, dropped in later. Whoops. Dropped in later. Does it work out cheaper to use Comfy than it would on their platforms? I would say, like, holistically, yes. In terms of like dollar to dollar, it's on par, right? Like Comfy as an org is enterprise, so they're getting the best absolute deal and passing it off to you because they're getting it in bulk, right? And they're passing it to all the users. But holistically speaking, if you were to excuse me, if you were to do the math and go get either all the subscriptions or set up all the API keys, it ultimately ends up being cheaper for you to just throw $50 in one account, in this case being Comfy as a whole, and pay per use, right? The beautiful thing about APIs and why they're superior to subscription like systems is because 6 months ago I put $50 on my OpenAI, and it's still there. I haven't been charged an extra cent because I haven't used that $50, right? And like, that's the beautiful thing about this kind of thing. You load it up, you have some spare cash, right? If you use it, okay, fair game, you got to top up. But if you don't, it's not like you're getting charged monthly, basically.
I think your microphone's acting funny. I said we're going to crowdsource you a new mic.
Dude, come on now.
We'll get you one. Don't worry, buddy.
Bro.
That's a good point, though. I mean, that really ties back into what you guys were saying, and I'm looking forward for that strictly in Comfy, because I might use something like a day or 2 out of the month, and then I forget to cancel it, and then I get billed for the next month, and I don't need it. Like, that's a great point. Like, you could save a lot of money if you're jumping around on all these platforms.
And hopefully we'll just be able to onboard more and more platforms so that it's just sort of like this hub, some of them are still want to keep their platforms, but yeah, like, is it cheaper to get an unlimited plan if you're going to absolutely smash runway gens for a month? Yeah, probably. Is it cheaper to get the unlimited for the month and do the thing? It can be if you're going to do the thing, but if you're just playing around and just trying stuff, yeah, this would be cheaper in the long run, I think, too. Yeah, so that's the Gemini node. We also have the OpenAI nodes, OpenAI with the GPT image one, the OpenAI chat node. It's got all the models. I don't even know what advanced option does. Chat config, truncation, max out. Oh, cool. Yeah, nice.
So instructions would be system prompt, I guess.
Yeah. And you can feed it files and images. So if you needed to look at a document, I think it can do like OCR and stuff too, right? Like it's pretty insane.
Yeah, I can do oh man. I've given GPT some really obscure stuff before.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. So yeah, the OpenAI chat gives you like a more powerful thing. But like again, most things you'll be able to use Gemini for, especially when it comes to prompting, looking at images and doing stuff with them. Gemini really excels at that. So that's the LLM nodes. I know Chris has been working with the 3D nodes quite a bit. Do you want to show off some of the stuff you've been working on?
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's get your screen shared there. Whoops, I turned your camera off, turned my screen off. There we go.
Let me know if you can see it.
Should be up now.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, I mean, one of the first things I wanted to do was like see how quickly I could pump out 3D assets, and tried both Rodin and Tripo. They both do a really good job. I'm really a fan of Tripo just with detail, but that's personal preference. You'd have to play with them and see what works best for you. But I was just generating with Flux Run Dev and just typing in simple prompts, 3D model of an acoustic guitar on a black background. All the normal setup, nothing technically different with the Flux Run Dev setup, and just pumping it right into the image to model node. And as you can see, it did a pretty good job. There's
yeah, it's pretty solid.
I mean, so many possibilities. Like if you need a whole bunch of assets, instead of digging for them online, you could literally pump them out. And then started getting into the texture model, where you can actually just have it reiterate with that same model ID task and give it more texture, have some different standard, detailed, give it geometry. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, I was super stoked. Sorry,
I
go ahead,
can see
Phil.
this being like, like one day turning into the backbone of generative games, like completely generative games.
Totally.
Yeah, we just need to get the topography a little better. It's a little sketchy right now for gaming, but man, we're so close. Like this was even like 6 months ago, this was pretty bad. It's like crazy good now. So if we can figure out how to get some kind of like retopo AI, we might be able to really push what we can do with making assets, especially like if you could just pump them right into a game, like right from here.
I'm impressed that those strings are separated.
Yeah, and it's hollow too.
Well, not only that, but yeah, it actually captured the occlusion of the.
You're like inside of it. Yeah. So when you see topology, like I'm not a 3D guy per. Are you saying like they're just not optimized?
Yeah. The poly count is extremely high because it's like a wrap. Like it's like
point cloud starting base.
Yeah, sort of, but just the edges. So
okay.
Basically it would need to be cleaned up by an artist in order to be used in a game, because games require assets that have much lower triangle and polygon counts. Basically right now it's like the stuff I was doing was about like 250,000 tries, which is way too much for like a single asset for a game. It would like filling your game with those assets would make it run like dog turd slow. Dog slow, dog water. But yeah, it doesn't matter because like you could just pull that stuff into Blender and make scenes with it. If you want to grab all that stuff and put them all in a creepy room and run a camera through it and run some crazy lighting in there and put some stuff on the TVs. Like it's perfect for that kind of stuff where you just need run and gun VFX assets to just be in a scene. You can populate like something in a 3D render or Unreal Engine or something to like run a camera through it and shoot some footage. So like this is really big for people who want to make sets and like make dioramas and things to film stuff in 3D, because as you guys have ever tried 3D modeling, it's like it starts here and then it just immediately just ramps up to the moon in difficulty. So like anything we get that just skips that step is amazing. Plus Trippo has the auto rig stuff too, which we'll try out as well. So it might even be possible to just like pull this stuff into Mixamo and just make it dance and stuff. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, and the speed of the generative 3D is really impressive, IMO.
Mm-hmm. Especially the API one. The Hunyuan stuff I was running locally took quite a while on my 3090, but the API is really fast. But I imagine they have it pretty optimized.
Is this running locally right now? Syntax?
The Flux dev is. Obviously, the APIs are calling, but yeah.
Yeah, so you're mixing local and API models here.
That's what I'm excited about. Yeah,
like
I'm
a local Flux generations until you like it, then make them 3D with the API, right?
Yep.
Yeah. This is the power of these tools. Is separate your workflows a little bit. For now, we're gonna have some cool branching stuff coming, but for now, you separate your iteration part of the workflow with your doing stuff part of the workflow, and then you can just iterate, then do stuff to your piece. Iterate, do stuff, and by sort of water wheeling that process, you can really make like your own pipeline for generating anything.
This is cool too. I didn't even see that they had style presets in there. Person to cartoon, animal, venom, whatever that is. Object, clay, steampunk, Christmas, Barbie. It's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Have to see what those are all about.
They just changed the color of the textures.
Maybe, yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here on my end, but
nice error.
Yeah.
Error of the day. Let's go.
What's the best way to go about separating? So for right now, what I do is my iteration stuff will go in one workflow, and then I'll make a new tab with the workflow with the next part, and then just grab the result out of my outputs folder and do the thing with it. That's been the fastest way for me than trying to automate that process in some way. Yeah. Tripio, I believe, was like, I think it was about 10 cents when I used it for text to mesh, which is pretty insane. So yeah, like, I mean, the Flux images are 6 cents, and you get a whole 3D model, a textured 3D model for 10 cents is wild. But yeah, yeah. Let me pull up my screen again here, and let's try workflow, browse templates. Nope. Workflow, browse templates. 3D API. We're going to go Trippo. Let's try just the text to model. We'll do one of these real quick. So the workflow starts up, and then everything is sort of bypassed down the line. So it starts out with the most simplest thing, thing, just prompting something into existence. After that's done, if you unbypass this stuff, it will rig the model, and then it will retarget the rigged model so that it'll be actually able to use in 3D software, like as a puppeteering skeleton type situation, so that it puts bones in the mesh basically that you can manipulate, and if it's a bipedal humanoid, you can basically make it dance with Mixamo or any of your other animation software, because it'll just it'll just be a mesh,
so
like
cool.
a rigged mesh. Refined draft model, I think we'll go in and try to like retopo it a bit. I haven't tried this one yet. Let's see what it says. only available with 1.4. Okay. And then texture model, so you can retexture the model with higher res textures, I think, with this. But just running this first one does give you textures on the model. So yeah, you can definitely start here. And then, as you guys know, or if you don't know, when you do this kind of stuff, you want to make sure your seed is fixed. So in here, it is fixed to 42. The reason for that is you can iterate. Then when you're happy, you can unbypass the next steps, and it won't redo the first bit again. So
Ori asked, I wish there was a UI node for choosing what renders to push to the next part of the workflow. There actually is. It's called CG Image Filter, CG-Image-Filter by Chris Orange. There it is. That's the one. So in this pack, this is the deprecated one, I believe. If you scroll down, no, it's the right one. Yeah, keep going. I think they have a keep going. Yeah, there you go. It allows you to connect it to this node, and then if it's a batch, it pauses and it says, which one do you want? Or which ones do you want?
Yeah.
And allows you to pass them through. So I use this a lot. I generate like 20 images at a time, different seeds, same prompt. And then I just pick the best ones, if any, and let them upscale through the rest of the pipe.
Yeah, that's something that that would be super awesome if we had in the core. But yeah, these workarounds are super helpful, especially like, you know, I keep saying this iterative process thing, but like, you know, you don't want to post process every single thing you make. Like, this is a waste of compute, waste of time, waste of power. Because you know what, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not batting 100. I'm not batting 1,000 on amazing generations all the time.
It's almost re-rolling is a part of the game. You know?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's try it out. Generate a 3D model of a steampunk inspired spider drone with a brass leg, steam vents, and a camera eye, set in a crouched, ready to leap posture. So I already did this one earlier, and it's awesome. So let's try something else. Generate a 3D model of a. Let's describe a character. Well, who's a good character to describe? Let's do like
Doc Ock.
Yeah. Let's just try first off Dr. Octopus. We'll see if it's in there.
Literally just gets an octopus.
A man with what is it, 8 metal arms or 4 metal arms?
I think it's 4.
4 metal arms protruding from a backpack on his back. I don't want it to get gory. All right, let's try this. It's just gonna make like an octopus doctor, you know.
I mean, I won't be upset.
I wouldn't be mad at that either. Yeah. Dr. Octopus. It's an octopus physician. Actually, an octopus doctor would probably be a pretty good doctor. Surgeon.
Every arm is autonomous.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what we get here.
Peter says, looks like I'll be putting some money into a Comfy account. We got him, guys.
We got him.
We got him. Yeah, no, that's like, that's the point. You know, you just have a little bucket and you can use it to play with all the models that are slightly out of reach from this particular, you know, node system.
I'm excited to try some of the other ones I haven't even tried yet. Like I've never generated with ideogram or Pika. Like there's a few on my list now. I think I might, you know, just give a shot in Comfy.
Yeah, I'm routinely impressed by Pika. You were saying, Phil? Sorry.
Models, yeah, I was gonna say it's just like all under one umbrella, right? Like you no setup. I mean, in the past, I've had to code my own, right? Go to fall, go somewhere and get the API, and then have to like, you know, spend the time, do the thing. But now they're all maintained, comfy core, load up money in the same spot. I wake up and look at Twitter and I'm like, oh, look, 7 more API nodes. And
Yeah.
I don't have to do anything except for update comfy.
Oh,
Perfect.
Dude.
That's
Yes. It's beautiful. It's exactly what I wanted. Wow, that's good.
That is really good. Dude, some of these I'm excited to try to 3D print too.
Yeah. That's so sick, man. I was honestly expecting a less creative result.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is
Yeah, man,
amazing.
holy moly.
Generate a 3D model of a man spider.
Yes. Just a man.
No,
That's it. All right.
no other direction. Oh, what did I get? I don't have enough credits. Oh, really?
Dude, you've been burning on the clock, haven't you?
I guess so. I feel like I do. Yeah, I do. Maybe you just have to refresh or something. It's possible like the run is not complete on the back end or something. Generate a 3D model of a man spider. Let's try that again. Oh, you do not have enough credit to create this task. Okay. Well, bummer.
Screenshot that one.
Yeah. I think the stream counts as a screenshot.
Fair enough.
Go.
Maybe restart your backend server.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, maybe.
It's the only thing I can think of. Some
Definitely
async
do.
problems.
Could be a back-end problem on the API side too. This is all new still, so like I wonder if the bucket's empty, like our comfy bucket's empty or whatever. I don't know how any of this stuff works.
Money ? Profit.
I just want to make octopus men. I like I don't think I'm asking for much here. We can actually tell. We can tell if we just go open up a new workflow and like if I just do the it's still not loaded yet. That's probably fill nodes making it take so long to load up.
No way.
Yeah, probably fill nodes.
Nuh-uh. I've optimized. I've had to. My shit's in deployment.
He dropped all his API nodes.
Yeah, I mean, my API nodes are like way more. What's the word? They're like really specific to what I want.
Right. Like task nodes.
Kind of, yeah. Like a lot of mine are asynchronous, so I can send like 200 requests at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Burn through $50 in like 2 minutes.
So let's just test this real quick with a Flux Run. So yeah, this might just be a Trip-O thing right now because the Flux one worked no problem. So, okay, well, these things happen. Once Steve Jobs was doing a demo and his Mac crashed, these things happen. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm getting the same error, so it must be a Trip-O
really?
thing. Yeah, probably just a.
All right, whatever. It'll work soon, I'm sure, when they sort it out. It is really fun. I encourage you to play with it. Let's try Runway Gen 4 Turbo image to video. Yeah. And I have stupid pictures of my face, so let's do one of those. A man dancing in the street wildly. His limbs flail about with a staggering lack of rhythm.
Man spider.
A man spider dances in the street. All right, let's try it.
I don't know how fast is the image to vid?
Let's find out.
Oh my god, 250 seconds, dude. Oh,
What is that?
that's a lot. That's a lot of
That's
seconds.
a lot of. That's 5 minutes, right?
Yeah,
Just about. Yeah.
Quick math.
We're all very mathy people, very smart people.
Doesn't look like
I
it's
can-
going to take that long though.
No, I don't think it will. Yeah, like
Oh, wow.
usually. Yeah.
That was
was
way
really fast.
faster.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Pretty great to have that, ready to go.
If you don't download that, it's a crime.
Well, it's saved, right? Like that's the nice thing. Like you're saving all this stuff to your outputs folder. So that's
a
actually
Facebook
another
post.
thing I didn't even think about. Like the amount of like going back into these services to go download the stuff you made. Like it's kind of nice to just be dumping it into your output folder.
Very true.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is pretty great.
I
Yeah.
want to see man spider.
Yeah, let's see if we can turn him into a man spider. A man spider dancing in the street
God.
wildly.
I'm not ready.
Man spider limbs flail about with a staggering lack of rhythm.
Oddly specific.
Looks like Elaine was the model for learning how to dance. Am I right in assuming the Comfy metadata is in the output as usual so we can drop it back into Comfy? That is a good question. I don't know if the new save video node does the metadata thing. We can find out real quick though. Let me load it up. So that's in my outputs folder. Doink, doink. Comfy output video. There it is. ComfyUI 1, ComfyUI 2. So I've got 2 MP4s. Right, because the second one ran. Yes, it does contain the workflow.
Nice.
Nice. Very nice. All right, how'd this one turn out? Oh, boy. It just made my arms longer. I really dislike that.
That is not proportionate.
Yeah. 3-foot arms. Could play basketball. It's really fast though. Dang.
Yeah, that's impressively fast. What kind of hyperparameters do you have on it? No resolution or anything, eh? Huh.
Yeah, ratio.
Oh, okay. Well, you're doing 1280 right now? Okay.
Yeah, 1280 by 720. It's got, the opposite 1104, 832, 960, 960, and like a super wide one, 1584.
Yeah, that's fast.
Yeah, surprisingly quick. Plus, if you have, a Runway account, you could take this back and upscale it with Runway as well. I don't know if we got the Runway upscaler. Not yet. Maybe we'll add that. That'd be cool. Their upscaler is pretty good. Their video upscaler. Runway image to video, Gen 4 turbo. Yeah, so it's Runway text to image. Nice. What else we got? Let's go to the API nodes. Add node, API. There they are. Image. No, that's not them. API node. Aha. So we got Ideogram, we got OpenAI, DALL-E 2, 3, GPT Image 1, Kling Virtual Try-On, Kling Image Generation. BFL gives us Expand, Fill, Canny, Depth, and Pro. So if you want to play with like, oh man, we should get Redux too. I wonder if we can get Redux. Redux would be a cool one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the fill node or the fill model, candy model, and the depth model for Flux are pretty sick. Super fun to play with. and you don't have to download 26 gigabyte models to do it.
Oh man, I have like 4 terabytes full of models. It's insanity.
Right on. Well,
Just in case the internet ever goes down.
The syntax diffusion has to bounce early, so we're gonna say goodbye to him and say thanks for coming out, and we'll see you here more often, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for coming, bro.
See ya.
Bye. Okay, what else we got? Yeah, Luma reference, Luma text to image, Luma image to image, Recraft. Oh man, there is a lot of Recraft nodes. I don't know if you guys have seen Recraft, but like if you're like a graphic designer, Recraft has like all the tools that you need to do like intricate edits, Recraft text to vector, Recraft remove background, replace background, crisp upscale, creative upscale, stylization, but you can also do color RGB controls, text to image, image to image, image in painting, vectorize, and realistic. They really specialize in text and like vector stuff. So if you need to make stickers, you need to make logos and texts and things like that, that's the move. Recraft is cool. Stability, they offer 3.5, ST 3.5 on API. Stable image ultra, upscale fast, creative, and conservative. They have an upscale engine as well you can play with. It's pretty sick. Runway, they have text to image, and their text to image is really good, as Phil was saying. Text, OpenAI, and Gemini, we covered those already, but basically that's the whole suite for OpenAI, and then the Gemini Flash and Pro. Video, we got Minimax, text to video, image to video. We got VO2. Hopefully we'll get VO3 when that drops. The API drops for that if and when. Kling, we got all the Kling stuff. Camera controls, text to video, image to video with camera control, text video with camera control, start and end frame to video, video extend, both lip syncs with audio and text. Something where you can do 2 characters having video effects, image to video, and their Kling video effects, which is a little suite of fun toys. Luma, they offer text to video and concepts, image to video. Pixverse, which I actually haven't played with, but you like that one, right, Phil?
I love Pixverse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really cheap, really fast. And I've thrown some really abstract art at it, and it just holds it and animates it. It's perfect for what I need.
I love that. Yeah. Yeah, I have to try that. And then Pika, we got text to video, we got scenes, Pika editions, which are those fun, like the adding an object, like you add like a Coke can or whatever you need into the video. Pika swaps, where you can like swap something out in the video. Pika effects, those are those fun tricks they do. And then start and end frame and image to video, which is awesome. And then all the runway ones, first, last frame, image to video Gen 3 and image to video Gen 4. For 3D, we got Trippo and Rodin. For Trippo, we got text to model, multi-view to model, texture model, refined draft, rig model, retarget rig model, convert model, and image to model. So, yeah, I mean, pretty much Trippo has you covered like 3D wise if you're trying to get stuff in and out of 3D. That's the one I'm the most excited about. Not having to model stuff. So Rodin 3D, and then the Rodin stuff I haven't played with yet. 3D generate, regular generate, detail generate, smooth generate, and sketch generate. So I would imagine those are all different sort of tiers of generation for the 3D models. So that'll be fun to play with too. And that's just the beginning. Hopefully we'll get more and more partners, more and more API nodes in there, and give access to these models to people who would otherwise not have access to them, which is the whole point of this. Both Phil and I were fielding some questions this morning in the Discord about, the future of Comfy and open source and stuff. But don't worry, guys. This is open source is our jam. This is just providing options for people who want to try this stuff out, don't want to sign up, don't have a GPU. Comfy is a playground, and like the more the more stuff to do at the playground, the better, right?
We're in a mindset of abundance for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no harm having them in there,
Yeah. For real. And Waleed, if you want a recap of the stream, please feel free to just roll it back. We are just about to wrap up here. So yeah, thanks everybody for coming out. We'll go a little deeper into the 3D nodes when the credits thing gets sorted out, because I wanted to actually bring that stuff into Blender, rig it, try to animate it and stuff like that. So that'll be a fun stream. We'll dive into that once that's working again, either Friday or actually no, Friday we have a special guest, Peter O'Malley. Palm from Banadoko will be here. We're going to pick his brain about, the history of AI animation and what it's been like to be a community leader for, what is it, 3 years now, Banadoko? 2 years? Quite a while.
Yeah,
both Phil and I very active on that Discord. That's where you go to find out what the community's up to. So he's always had his finger on the pulse. It'll be really interesting to see his take on stuff. So awesome. Thanks, Phil. Thanks, everybody. Go play with the API nodes, and don't worry, you can do most of this stuff locally. So if you have the GPU, there's no reason to use them. But if you want to try out the closed models and supercharge your workflows, go nuts. That's what it's for. All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Cheers, guys.
Bye-bye.